Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Gooner Gathering. Goonley meets Lee Meadows in. And of course, we're here to talk about Triple D deadline day disappointments. Now, of course, we all know you don't need me to tell you that we appear to be a little bit light on the striker front, right? And we all went into deadline day hoping beyond hope that we'd get a name over the line. I think we've spoken at length on the channel about Gabby Jesus's injury. Of course, he just got himself back into a little bit of form. Then he's had his big injury. We've spoken about Kai Havertz and his workload having to be the main number 9, but he's not a striker apparently. And to be fair, working himself to the ground, you can't fault his effort. And we've seen him sort of at the end of the games, particularly I'm thinking of Wolves, when he's literally on his knees. The inconsistencies of Martinelli, Trossard to an extent, and the injury, of course, to Bukayo Saka left us really, really short. But I always thought getting the top strikers over the line in January in particular was going to be highly unlikely for a lot of reasons. I think, you could go into it and really, really hope that. I'll give you some examples, some of the names that have been floated around, especially the bigger ones, right? You see Isaac over at Newcastle, form of his life, right at the top end of the goal scoring charts, has £150 million at least price tag on his head. Honestly, it's never going to happen. He doesn't even want to come down this way anyway. Family settled up that end. Absolutely wasn't going to happen. Certainly not in the window. People talk about Gyökeres quite a lot. The chap who's at Lisbon has done pretty well for himself. Obviously scored a lot of goals, lots of goals, international level as well. Last time I saw him, he was in Gabriel and Saliba's pocket, but that's by the by. Could that have happened? Again, that's going to be a real difficult one to do in January. I don't think was ever going to happen. Osman, yeah, they could have got a fee agreed for him. Apparently asking for more than double the wages of the top earner at the club, which would be a disruption to the whole structure of how the club has managed to settle down after a lot of issues with wages and players with big egos. Sesko, I don't know him too much about. There's lots of talk about him being the one for the summer, but again, I'm not ultimately convinced about that. The one that really interests me was the Ollie Watkins deal, and I think personally, it would have been a great deal to do. I really thought it would make a lot of sense, tick a lot of the boxes. And the way it all came about seemed a little weird for me, because we're hearing that Villa approached us, encouraging us to bid for the player, right? That's what I'm hearing today, and I don't know if that's because maybe their situation before they sold their other striker was making FFP live difficult for them. That's possibly the case, but then maybe any chance of that deal going through would have said bye-byes to when he picked up a supposed injury at half-time, or certainly went off at half-time at Molineux on Saturday. So maybe, even if they could have agreed it, he would have, if it's a hamstring, say, I don't know if it is or not, it'd be out for weeks anyway, and that would be a bit of a waste of time. And in the same bite, the other options that we already had, the squad might be some of the reasons why we didn't get people in. Let me try and explain what I mean. So when you've got attacking options limited, one teeth in, sorry. One name I haven't mentioned yet is Raheem Sterling, and yeah, I'm very, very aware, boys and girls, that he's not exactly set the world on fire on his time at Arsenal. But as documented, he is on a loan. And perhaps if we had more options, that would have been, perhaps they might have sent him back to Chelsea. I don't know. Perhaps that would have been the case. But as it is, he's still with the club, and he's going to be there for the season. So one thing I don't think I've heard people talk about is, I wondered, because of the domestic loan system being as is, and you can't get any more than 2 players on loan. And we had, of course, the goalkeeper, Neto, who hadn't debuted for us until last midweek in the Champions League, right? I kind of wonder, if it wasn't for David Raya's injury that he picked up, I wondered if they might have thought about terminating that loan, which might have given us more options on the domestic loan front, which I certainly feel the loan deals are much easier to pull off in this winter window. But that wasn't to be, and being that we are lacking in the experience and the options, that's why Neto's there. That's, people are going to criticise why was he there in the first place. Well, that's the reason why, is because he was an option that had played Premier League level for a long time. Yeah, I know he had a dodgy debut. I mentioned it on the review, but again, I put that a little bit down to a bit of ring rust, a little bit of trying to scrape the cobwebs a little bit and trying to refine his form, because he hadn't played in a while. But ultimately, where we at? Well, it leaves us in a situation where we're very much like we were. There is not, after the cup tie on Wednesday. I don't know if this will go out Tuesday night or Wednesday, but after that cup tie, we have got a bit of a break, and then after that break, which sounds like the players, the first team, are going up to have a bit of warm weather training like they did last season. Sometime soon after that, perhaps there might be a few more players available, the likes of a Ben White, the likes of Bukayo, perhaps, supposedly sort of coming back, although Arteta was very coy in saying the comeback time in the press conference today. They're saying that he's not sure. Maybe he's thinking, I won't reveal anything because, give rivals an edge or whatever. But the other thing it makes me wonder is, obviously we've got players that have come in. Look at Ethan Wanari, right? Who scored a great goal. I'm not going to question that great goal against Man City. I played 10 minutes or so, had more touches than Haaland in the game, and scored a fabulous goal. Maybe he's feeling, maybe he's more ready now. Maybe he could play a role as striker. Maybe saying, with the likes of Martinelli, with the likes of Trossard, even the likes of Sterling, has he got enough with it? With the addition of Ethan being back, is that going to be enough to continue our Premier League? Well, I don't know if the race is the right word, because we need Liverpool to slip up, whatever. But managing to sort of keep a decent chase with them. That's probably the word I'm looking for. But I'm as disappointed that we didn't get anything in, but I'm not surprised. That's really where I conclude on the transfer window this winter, and I think Arteta was quite clear about saying that he wasn't just going to bring a player in for the heck of it. It had to fit right. You spend a lot of money on a player coming in, which would be on big wages no matter what. and if it doesn't work, you get criticised even further. So you're thinking more longer term. I mean, I think it's really rare for us to make a knee-jerk decision on signing someone. Dom, on Arsenal domination, you said was it yesterday or today? I think maybe the only one that he can think of in recent memory was Raheem Sterling. And again, because that was a loan, it was almost like a no-brainer, no risk kind of signing. I mean, yeah, would like a bit more return from Raheem. Maybe that's still to come in the season. Who knows? But I'd rather us be a little cleverer and think a little more long term. I know fans are going to want to hear it, and they want new toys in there, and they want them right now. And I get it. And on the eve of a semi-final, we want to be hitting big prizes, and that's the only way. To rank success, that's the only way you can do that, by picking up the prizes. So yeah, they didn't pick up anything, and if they don't pick up any prizes, ultimately they'll be judged at that at the end of the season, and the criticism will just grow, won't it? From not necessarily from me, but people who are watching us, people who are around the world who crave the success that I do. We'll see how things go. Maybe there's a chance we might discuss this whole situation a little bit more if we do a live, and it isn't if we do the live tomorrow for the Newcastle game. It depends if I can get a co-commentator in for the chat. We shall see how it goes. Anyway, that was my thoughts. A disappointing window, not necessarily a surprising one though for me, unfortunately. But anyway, that's just about enough for me waffling on for today. Hope you enjoyed my take on it. Let me know your opinions. I know they're going to be a bit spicy, so put them in the comment section for me. Please like, share, and subscribe. Gooner Gathering will be with you again sooner rather than later. Cheers for watching, right? Thank you.